Hi, Assalamualaikum. Good morning or afternoon to Madam. So today I will begin by introducing the focus of this report, which examine kita punya report tentang Information Management Practices at YTL Corporation Berhad lah. So let's start why this topic is important. Okay, information management right now is a very like a critical pillar untuk modern organization. So it supports operational facility, efficiency, strategic planning, compliance, and also sustainability. So like when a lot of company face macam increasing in data volume, stricter regulations and also cybersecurity threats kan. So manage information sekarang ni need to be effective and has become like essential untuk stay relevant and competitive. So before I go on, so I want to talk about a little about YTL Corporation lah. First, it is founded on 1955. So YTL has grown into one of Malaysia's most diversified multinationals. So its operations span utilities, construction, cement manufacturing, property development, and hospitality. So subsidiaries like YTL Power International, YTL Communications play important roles in and in national infrastructure and digital transformation. Okay. Okay, so like the focus of this report is to evaluate YTL's punya information related system lah, the standards, policies, so includes like the global standard macam ISO 9001 untuk quality control, also ISO 27001 for information security. So it looks how key personnel and technologies are involved in managing and securing information across the group. So finally, this report contributes to a broader understanding on how large and multi-sector organization like YTL ni dia implement can how effectiveness the information governance to support ESG goals and sustainable growth. So this sets the stage for a deeper analysis untuk YTL system and practice which we will be discussed in the following session. Thank
Okay,
you.
I will talk about YTL corporation activities, like what we can see at this slide. Okay, YTL corporation is a highly diversified and forward-looking company. It operates across key sectors like utilities, construction, property, telecommunications, and technology. From building infrastructure and generating power to offering digital education and 5G services, YTI plays a major role in shaping modern living in Malaysia and abroad. It's a growing focus on sustainability, green energy, and innovation position it as a leading conglomerate in both traditional and future-ready industries. Then we talk about what is regarded as information and knowledge within the unit. Information, board meetings and procedures. Okay, meeting of the board committees are conducted separately from those of the main board to enable objective and independent discussions. Then internal reports. YTI Corporation has their internal report to ensure that all parts of the company remain excellent. The information and performance data presented in this report has been verified using internal sources for accuracy. Then knowledge. YTI Corporation make collaborative problem solving. This method is crucial for complex issues that may be beyond the capabilities of one person alone. So it is important to making collaborative with communities. Then retention of employee expertise. The employee at YTN Construction represent different age groups, cultivating a mosaic of experiences and skills from baby boomer to Gen Z. So this diverse mix of generation is the driving force behind the company's accomplishment.
So next look at to the types of information received and produced by YTL Corporation Berhad. as well as how it's retrieved. For information retrieval, YTL use digital methods like SQL, dashboard, CRM, and CMS. For the physical methods, such as manual filling with barcode or RFID tagging for easier tracking. For information received, customer data usage such as 4G or 5G performance and user feedback. For the customer feedback collected via app, email, social media, and call centers. For tech trends, new tech like GigaWire and Telegraph. For the digital matrix, engagement data from YTL screens. For the information produced, service reports, performance and coverage analysis. For the marketing content such as videos, graphics, and social media posts. For the technical documentation, is manuals for new technologies. And the last is digital advertising content. It's for targeted content for info screens. So in conclusion, YTL handles various types of information to support smooth operation, innovation, and customer satisfaction. So next, I will explain how YTL retrieves and protects its information. For the digital retrieval, YTL use cloud systems, data centers, and internet servers. Staff access data using secure logins, dashboards, and SQL. While CRM stores customer info and CMS manage digital advertising. For the physical retrieval, some documents like contracts are stored in files and retrieved manually. For the barcode and RFID test, help staff find documents faster. And the last is security and governance. Its access is controlled so only the right people can view certain data. And all access is tracked to keep data safe and follow company rules. In short, YTL use both digital and physical methods to store and retrieve data securely and efficiently.
Okay, how information is preserved for short and long-term retention. Okay, for short-term retention relies on technologies like cookies. The YTL Corporation collect information about their user visit to the YTL website without people actively submitting such information. Cookies are small text files that are transferred to users' computers hard disk by a website. Users' internet browser automatically transmit to the YTL group some of this unidentifiable information, such as URL of the website user just visit and the browser version user computer is operating. Okay, for long term, the YTL Corporation preserve information for long-term retention to ensuring their company growth regarded sustainability reports. The YTL Corporation has a long-standing commitment to ensuring that its businesses are viable and sustainable on a long-term basis. The board oversees governance of the YTL group sustainability matter, which includes setting its environmental, social, and governance, which is ESG strategies, properties, and targets, overseeing the progress of ESG strategies and performance, and reviewing and addressing the YTL group material ESG risk and
Right,
opportunity.
okay, let's kita tengok at how YTL Corporation Berhad ni dia leverages ISO standards to manage the information system and operational integrity. So first, YTL dia shows a very strong commitment to global standards. So it's adopting internationally recognized ISO framework. So this data standards kan play a vital role in reinforcing YTL's punya effort in information governance, sustainability, okay, occupational safety and cybersecurity. So if you guys can see, YTL Construction ni, the company follow several ISO certification. Okay, so ISO certification ni which is maknanya dia orang audit setiap tahun, they audit every year to be transparent on everything, and keep it as a global standard to keep the information. So let's see how the first one is ISO 9001 2015. So it's a PQP, Project Quality Plan, which is very focuses on quality management. So it's ensuring consistent and compliant service delivery. So, and the second one is ISO 14001 2015. It supports structured environmental tracking to meet sustainability goals. And the third one is ISO 18001 2007. So it addresses occupational health and safety. So dia membantu untuk mengurangkan workplace risk and improve documentation. So these standards kan, so it helps YTL untuk maintain SOP, standard operating procedures, which is retain accurate compliance record and support regular audit trails lah. So altogether, this encourage a culture of continuous improvement and ensures consistent operation across the groups or company. Okay, now let's look at how YTL handles information security and digital governance using ISO standards. So one of the most significant steps is taken by YTL Power Seraya ni, which uses ISO or IEC 27001 2013. So it's a global framework for information security management system or ISMS. So these standards actually helps identify cyber risks and apply effective data protection measures and enforce control system to protect critical business information. So the strategic outcomes of adopting this framework are substantial. They facilitate internal audits, build customer trust, and ensure alignment with local and international regulatory standards. So in conclusion, the integration of ISO standards reflects YTL's secure, structured, and accountable approach to managing both information and operations lah. So this foundation supports long-term excellence and risk reduction and also global competitiveness. Okay, so let's wrap up with the strategic benefits of these technological advancements. Okay, so YTL's digital infrastructures they enables real-time monitoring of operations and support scalable solutions. So and ensures compliance with data global protection regulation lah. So and paling penting, more importantly, so this investment dia in line with YTL's punya broader vision of sustainable and smart development. So by building a secure, agile, and also future-ready information environment, YTLs is not only improving current operations but also settling the foundation for long-term innovation and resilience.
So next, I will be talking about the units of information received and disseminated by the real unit within a specific time frame, which is on the average. So in YTL Corporation Berhad, especially within its corporate communications and investor relations unit, the flow of information is constant in high volume. So on the average, the unit receives between 500 to 700 pieces information every week. These include around 18 to 100 internal reports and memos such as finance updates and project brief. About 10 to 15 regulatory updates from Bursa Malaysia and 20 to 30 media inquiries or press requests. So in addition, social media also plays a big role with the team monitoring about 300 to 500 mentions across platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn and Twitter. So investor-related emails of content, each week they create around 3 to 5 press releases, 5 to 10 internal bulletins or newspapers, about 25 to 33 social media posts. So investor communications such as quarterly reports or slide decks come in at about 0.5 per week, while branded content like videos or infographics averages around 5 to 8 pieces. When it comes to distribution, the communication is just as extensive, which is newsletters
and emails blasts are sent to around 2,000, around 2,000 until 3,000. So when press releases are distributed 3 to 5 times a week via platforms such as PR and Newswire or Bursa Malaysia. So social media engagements reach around 20,000 to 40,000 impressions weekly, while investor follows up include 10 to 15 meetings or calls. So these figures show that YTL's corporate communications teams handle a massive volume of information regularly, as supported by their official annual reports and studies like those published in IJB. Next is problem faced in YTL to managing information. So the first main problem is information overload. So the team receives hundreds of updates, emails, and media alerts every week, which can overwhelm staff and slow down response time. Next is data silos. YTL operates across different sectors like construction, utilities, hospitalities, and departments that often use separate IT systems. It shows multiple legacy IT platforms across its utility, construction, and even hospitality units. These isolated data islands prevent seamless sharing of market and brand-related metrics, forcing the application of work and impeding consolidated reporting. This lack of integration makes it hard to share data effectively, which can lead to repeated work and incomplete reports. So as noted in YTL's 2024 annual report. Also, the third problem is lack of standardization in document formats, naming systems, and metadata. Because lack of standardization can make it difficult to find the right files quickly and can cause confusion during audits or even to respond to external requests. Other than that, lack of standardization also counts as a challenge in YTL's company because of its inconsistent document templates, hard to naming conventions, and metadata practices across departments to staff for them to locate the official version of any press release or investor slide deck. Next is compliance and governance complexity, known as the problem faced in YTL's corporation, because YTL must follow strict reporting rules set by Bursa Malaysia and global frameworks like GRI. They have to ensure timely, accurate collection and validation of ESG and financial data across global operation is resource extensive and error sensitive. So collecting accurate and timely data from all departments is time consuming and increases the risk of error. So here is the solutions for effective information management in the units. So there are many solutions to problem, especially in the units of YTL's problem company. YTL can implement several strategies such as centralized digital system, a cloud-based content management system, which is known as CMS or Enterprise Information Platform, can help to centralize files, press releases, reports, and social media content. This ensures that all communication materials are version controlled and accessible in real life. For example, SharePoint or M files can help store all files and reports in one place. This makes it easier for staff to access the latest versions or avoid duplication. Also increases the team's collaborations. Besides, YTLs can also apply metadata standards to help them organize all documents, because all digital documents and content should be tagged with standardized metadata, such as date, document type, author, and department. This improves searchability and ensures faster retrieval of official files, especially during audits or regularly reporting. So by tagging each file with information like date, department, author, employees can search and retrieve the right file more easily and more convenient. The department also developed information policies that define access control, retention periods, data privacy rules, and even communication protocols, because these rules will guide how data is stored, who can access, and how long documents must be kept. Thus, aligning with this policy with Bursa Malaysia and ISO standards, such as ISO. Next is the availability of organizational data mining approach. The first one is adoption of predictive analytics for customer behavior. In its telecommunications and utilities sectors, such as YTL Communications and YTL Power, YTL employs predictive analytics to anticipate customer needs, consumption patterns, and service demand. This is done using by data mining tools that process large volumes of customer data usage, enabling the company to design better packages, improve service reliability, and even tailor promotions. Next one is use of business intelligence, which is known as BI systems. YTL integrates business intelligence platforms such as SAP Business Objects and Tableau to visualize and mine historical financial, sales, and construction project data. These systems support data-driven decisions by extracting trends and key performance indicators from large data sets. Third is smart city and IoT-based data mining. YTL's involvement is smart city projects such as YTL Land and Development includes mining IoT sensor data to improve traffic flow, lighting systems, and environmental monitoring. Because the company leverages machine learning algorithm to analyze real-time data.
Hi, Assalamualaikum, and my name is RAUDAH. So I'll start on construction of thesaurus. So a thesaurus is a list of terms and their relationship, like synonyms and related words. It helps organize information so we can find it more easily. So how to build a thesaurus? First, we list the main ideas of your organization uses. Second, we pick the main term we prefer. And then the third, link related terms, broader terms, narrower terms, and related terms. And then finally, we record the synonyms to help with the searching. So next, I'll start on metadata creation. So what is metadata? Metadata means information about data. It describes and labels files so we can manage and find them quickly. Why is metadata important? It's because it supports data management across the company. It makes searching easier, help us follow rules and be ready for audits, and keep everything organized in areas like construction and power. YTL's Code of Conduct in 2021 also requires good records. So metadata standards are in place. Next, I'll move on to data warehousing facilities in YTL. So YTL has several data centers to store and process data. First, we have Johor, a big solar powered center with up to 500 megawatts capacity. And then we have in Sentul, Kuala Lumpur, a smaller center with upgrades planned. And then we also have in Singapore sites is certified for the reliability and was bought in 2021. And lastly, we have in Johor Center that will be opening in 2025, and all of these centers support both internal and customer needs. It helps with sustainability and also keep the data safe and easy to access. So next, I'll start on the addressing system to locate resources. So YTL uses four ways addressing system to keep track of everything. First is document ID system, basically a special codes on documents showing what they are and where they belong. And then we have physical asset tagging. It's QR or barcodes on equipment plus location and item numbers. It's physical. And then the third we have the digital file structure. It's clear folder names that they set by project and phase, so files are easy to find. And then lastly, they use the GIS mapping tools. It's maps for tracking big infrastructure like roads and pipelines. So all of these systems, they make sure that we, the employees, always know where documents, equipments, and sites are.
Okay, to conclude our case study on YTL Corporation Berhad, we can see that the company adopts a very strategic and modern approach into information management lah. So the advanced technology as the AI, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and also hyperscale data centers. So to ensure that the information secure, accessible, and efficiently to use like all across the business operation. So because YTL also follow the globally standard macam ISO 9001, ISO 14001 and also ISO 27001. So this reflects that their strong commitment in quality, environmental sustainability, and also information security. So from a governance perspective, the board of directors, semua executive leaders and the company secretaries, they play a very crucial role lah dalam untuk maintain dia punya transparency and untuk pastikan the information supports a long term decision making and also the ESG goal lah. Okay, so even though company ni faces a lot of challenges macam information overload, silhouette data and also like regulatory complexities, but they actually successfully implemented solution macam buat centralized system, metadata tagging and also AI analytics tools untuk manage and improve the flow information tu lah. And then overall, so this company, YTL, served a very great example at how a large organization can treat can treat information as a strategic resource untuk drive pembangunan, the growth, the strengthen punya stakeholder punya trust and also promote sustainable development in the digital age. Thank you. That's all.